Aloha, aloha. It was wonderful seeing you this morning. Tell you what, you're really taking the ook like a fish in water. What I like to say is, I like the way that the fingers that look like they've been playing and practicing the spider exercises that I gave you. What we're like to do now is change these half-step intervals into whole-step intervals and just dive into music theory of what we're looking at. Our triads explain the 1, 3, and 5, and then the addition of another note would be the 7th. So you know the G major to the G major 7 to the G dominant 7. You know how to play the C major to the C major 7 to the C dominant 7 or the C7. I could go through all those if you like. G, let's go through them in order. C, C7, C7. What comes after C? D. D major 7, D dominant 7, E major 7. Where's our E? It's right here. So E major 7, E F major 7, F dominant 7. So we're getting our F and we're playing with the 4th fret and the 3rd fret, the E to the E flat. E F to G, we just did that one. G A major. We're going to drop this A note down to an A flat, and what we're going to do is we're just going to play both of them with one finger like this. Bam! And then we're going to leave our finger. Just leave the G ringing open and play the C sharp. Gives us the A dominant 7. You could also add up here if you want to give it a 7th tone, but it doesn't matter. A, go to B. B major looks like a C, remember? And what we're going to do is flatten the B to a B flat, which gives us a B major 7, then open, B dominant 7. You'll like that one because it reminds me of the E minor, except it has this. That's actually fun. You should make that into a finger exercise. Anyway, that goes through all those. Now let's add on our 7ths. In the key of C, C major to make it C major 7, we've got that. If we're in a C minor, it still can have a C minor 7, and it looks like a D minor. So if you can play a D minor, you can play a C minor 7. In the key of D, if you're playing a D major, it has the F sharp. If you're playing a D minor, it has the F. So we've got a D minor, and if we add the 7th tone, the C sharp is the 7th tone of a D minor. So that is your C major, D minor major 7, and then here's your D minor with a dominant 7. And here we go with the E. Here's our E minor. Here's our E minor with the 7th, and E minor with the dominant 7th. Yeah? What's after that? E F. Here's our F minor. Here's our F minor. Remember, we can still add these notes. Ugly, huh? You can also use your 3rd finger there, but each one of these has a specific finger. If you play your F minor like that, you can play this down here. I would not cross over. That's silly. You play more like that. Does that make sense? Cool. After F, we've got a G minor, so G major, drop our B, a B to a B flat, so we get the G minor. A G minor 7 would have our 7th tone, so the F sharp is still going to be in there. So we take our G minor, we drop that to yet again another D minor shape, and then our D minor dominant 7. So don't let anybody tell you that a minor can't have a dominant. You can move that all the way around. There goes all the chords for the dominants. The B, of course, is going to be your B major, B minor. B minor is going to work down your dominant. This is a weird chord. 1st fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 4th fret. But it's cool. Like that. If you're so adventurous, you can play both of these with one finger and then stretch that. That's how I play it. I like that. And then after that, what you learned today was the augmented chord. So the best way to do an augmented chord is to think of any chord and sharpen that 5th. So in the key of C, we've got C, E, and G. C, E, G, 1, 3, 5. With that 1, 3, 5, if we take that 5th, which is the G, C, D, E, F, G, and we make it a G sharp, we would have an augmented chord. The fun with augmented chords is they're leading chords. Beatles have a tune called Oh Darling, which starts in an E augmented chord. So in an E major, we've got this, right? So E aug is going to take all your chords. It's going to take your major triad. So an E is a E, G, and a B, or an E, G sharp, and a B. Our 5th is a B, so we're going to make it a C. So we've got our E, G sharp, and a B, and we're going to make that a C. Oh, Cool. So those are your ogs, and we have a couple of the diminished. So you know your diminished as being the B diminished, which looks like a G dominant. So C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, resolves to C, that seventh tone. So what I like to show you is that that could have a whole diminished or a whole resolved. A couple things, but the best thing that sounds good there is that B diminished. So if you scoot that up to a D major, you've got a D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. That C sharp and the F sharp are the two different notes. They still do the same pattern, except I can't call it an F and I can't call it a C, because if I played an F and a C, I would have, that would be a minor. That was a melodic minor. But if I just did the flat 6, flat 3rd, flat 6, and flat 7th from a major, so a major would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. When you know your 1 is there, your 2 is there, and your 3 should be there. If you were to play that 3 flattened, that gives you your first leading tone for your minor. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If you have these notes moving out, you will see that the majors and the minors do not correspond to each other. They have a half-step distance between that half-step for the 3rd, 6th, and then the 7th. So what we're going to do is next week, we're going to talk about the different forms of the minors and talk about the different modal structures within that. I hope you had a great time today. Great job with your tunes. I hope the rhythm exercise that we went over worked. And what I'd also like you to do for the week, if you do have more than 5 minutes, besides just your muscle memory stuff, take the chords you know and work on understanding what we worked on today with the notes themselves. A whole note incorporates 1, 2, 3, 4. A half note is 1, 2, 1, 2. It's half of that, right? And then as soon as you get the half notes, try the quarters, which is down, 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 down. That's the perfect 4 that you were just counting. Then what we do is we influence the up for the 8th notes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. After that, we double that 8th note for 16th. You feel how that inflection of baka, taka, 1 and 2 and 3, and then especially the quarters. Down, 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 down has that 1 and 2 and, so you can count the and as soon as you get through the 1 and, you can think 1 and also has 1 2 for the 1. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So that rhythm goes back and forth as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So even without your musical instrument, you can keep your right foot tapping 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and at the same time play the rhythm with your hand, which would look and sound like this. Now go slow. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. What I did was I went back and out, and you could tell that the metronome that I had on was actually counting the 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What happens when I have 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, I could have 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 that is subdivided by that. So it breaks it down that all music is basically math. If you start off slow, you eventually will be able to play it fast. I hope we gathered that today. Also, taking your hand and bringing it in towards the end of the fretboard and making a pick kind of thing and letting it go up and down actually makes it go a little bit faster for you. I hope you had a fun time today. I'll see you next week. Aloha.